Now, there are those of us that do not feel that they're welcomed by their families, in or out, they've fallen out with each other, but this isn't really what I'm talking about. It's all the memories that you have gathered over the course of your life. And even if you've had trauma in your life, I promise you, you do have good memories somewhere. You have things that you've learned that you can share. Now, you hear this in different groups as well. Share what you teach, what you have, share what you have. And that's really what is going on. It's teaching what you have to assist others. But again, I'm speaking of what Lakshmi Ji would always speak about, and that is the wealth is in the family. That's what Pisces is all about. Pisces is doubling, if you want to look at the two little fishes swimming together, doubling what we can do for legacy. We can offer it, they can receive it, and it will double the worth of what we have. Because as we go along, that little rock that you threw in the pond starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Also, it doesn't seem as if somebody that's just living a day-to-day life has much to offer. You will be surprised because as time goes on, we don't have the written word anymore. We have the typed word, and we can delete that. So it's super important that we get a journal, we write about it, and please, not just on email or the little online journals, because again, delete. You know, things happen in the tech world. You may feel like you've saved things and then all of a sudden it disappears. The written word is the most profound. So I have people that have passed recently, and during this time going into the end of the year, it seems as though a lot of people do pass. And the grandchildren of these ones have passed that weren't particularly close to that grandparent want to be close to the grandparent because it's their last moment, even if they weren't seeing them as much as they'd like to, because yet again, we have all of this space between us, even if we have FaceTime. And it's important to gather something, some sort of memento, something of theirs if we can, whether it is their written word, whether it is some sort of counsel that they gave at the last moment, or an artifact of something that was in their household that they held on, hoping that they could pass it to that grandchild. And believe it or not, grandchildren do save those things. Once upon a time when my grandmother passed away, she had a household full of beautiful objects. And yes, little things, different, the grandchildren received what they wanted, but they had all this antique furniture. Of course, I knew they would be antiques. Things that we sat with. And what is happening right here is I have, for instance, a coffee table. That coffee table means a lot to me. Why? Because this is where my grandmother sat all the time and put her coffee on there, or she had her, what she called her foursies on there, because she loved to have a cocktail hour, and invite different people around the neighborhood. So it was really important to me to have this piece of furniture along with other things, not the jewelry so much, but her bedroom set, because it was where I sat on her bed or I slept in her bed. It was important to me. Not everybody feels that way. That's my experience. But you might have something of your grandmother's or your grandfather's that you feel is important to you, whether it's a fishing rod or some sort of clothing. That's really, really important. So now I'm going to go back to what do we do on Pisces, and we're going in the fall equinox. The fall equinox is always about a transition and a time where we want to celebrate a 3-day celebration. We're also going into Navratri pretty soon. So all of these are all together. We're going into all sorts of holidays that are very, very important in different pantheons, different religions, different cultures that are starting to honor going into the quieter months. I have chosen these things to help you. First of all, I'm wearing purple purposely because it is the third eye. It is something about being quiet and spiritual. And the archetype of Pisces is about the spiritual sage. I've learned all these lessons on my path over the course of time and lifetimes, and now I'm going to share what I have. So it's not so much about being alone, it's about legacy. I've got the little purple candle, okay? This one, you can get the 3-inch votive if you want. And for me, it's full moon going into waning moon. But again, since we have this beautiful equinox that's coming up, you can use that time, because ultimately there is no time. So use the intentions of the energies that are here. So I'm going to take this. I've got my little push pin that I like. It's tiny. This is what I like the most, because I feel like you can, what's called scry. You've heard me say that word before. It's inscribe in the side of the candle. And I will put in there spiritual, I'm going to do it right when I'm with you, and it's going to be spiritual legacy. Okay. Now, yes, I can do this with long fingernails, you guys. Believe it or not. That's going to be the energy of the fall equinox. Okay, I'm just going to brush it to make sure I can see it. It's in there, okay. You can't see it, I can. Okay, so now I'm going to take this particular oil. Now, you know me, I use Young Living oils. It's not that I mean, they're very, very pure. You choose yours, what you want. But this is called Awaken. And I feel like this is an important one. So even if you have this, which I also tell you guys just to get a very good olive oil. I just get a little one, so I have it in case you never have these other oils. Olive oil has been here from the existence of time. It is legacy. It is holiness. So you can always use this one. And you'll want to take that oil, and I'll just take a little bit of it. I'll do the olive oil first. You don't have to layer them if you don't want. It's up to you. I'm putting it on my hand. Okay, rubbing them together. Remember, I've taught you a long time ago, that makes it so that the energy pops into your hands. Okay, and I'm going to do it from the wick to the base, and I'm just going to put spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening. I'm going to do that. And then, because I said I would add this other one, I'm going to put a little bit of this. You're probably wondering, what's in this? Well, I hate to tell you, but it's so tiny on here, I cannot rate it. I'd have to go. But I just know whatever they mix is supposed to. It smells like there's maybe a little patchouli, a little bergamot, maybe something like that. So that, and I've got my hands really hot again. Clap 3 times. And I'm going to put that on top of it. Spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening. But remember, first and foremost, get your olive oil. That's fine. Then I'm going to put it in this tiny little pot. I've also got holder. And then I've got a mirror. Why do I have a mirror? Because mirrors are portals. Okay, and as long as I have that, I'm going to put that on top of there. And then what I've done is I've got myriads of crystals. I've picked this particular crystal. I felt like this has been over in the East Gate. It's been sitting there all summer. It's very clear and intentional, and it has Michael Archangel energy on there. So I'm going to put that on the mirror in front of the candle, and then I've got a lot of little altars around here. So I'm going to put this amethyst, and then this is all the purple color, and it's in this star in a little box of silver that someone gave me, because I always, again, legacy, somebody gave it to me. It means a lot to me. So I'm going to put that with it, surrounding the candle. still on top of that tiny mirror. Yes, it's hanging over a little bit, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to put this little feather. This was given to me by a dove. It's a representation of Mother Mary. That's very, very important to me. I'm going to put that on the east. So how I've got it is I've got Michael. It's in front, even though I'm sitting in the west. Okay, so I could move that in back, so that's in the east gate on the mirror. The amethyst and the stars in the north. This I'll put over here on the east, south and east on the tray. And then I've got loads of dried flowers that I've consecrated to Mother Mary. And so I'm going to put that also just around it. Okay, now I could take this off of here, but then I think we're going to have a kind of a crash. And if I pick this whole thing up, you're not going to see it either. So I'm not sure exactly how to show you, but just trust me that this is where it is. So I'm going to remove these two things and get them out of the way. Move the scrying object, and I have this set up. And then when I'm off camera, I'll put it on my altar and reset it up, and then I'll light the candles tonight. Okay, my intention as I'm lighting the candle is to sit very quiet and access the energy of the feminine moon, the divine feminine. Now, what if you do it tomorrow? You're still going to get the energy. Well, what do you put the candle out before you get to, the fall equinox? Get another candle, and whatever's left of this candle, make sure you load it ahead of time. And on there, still put spiritual legacy. Still put that on there. Okay, and then put that for the fall equinox, because that's what's important. Now, anything that you get informationally, if you go looking around, they're going to tell you it's a big celebration. You need to do all the fall things and everything. But at the same time, if you want to be super intentional with the divine channeling, the gifts that I've been given to give to you, that's more detailed, this is what's important. All of it's important. I want you to do what you feel is best. You can do the other one, and you can add this one as well. But just make sure that you celebrate our ancestors. You celebrate our beloved Mother Mary. You celebrate Lakshmi, she's divine feminine. That you celebrate our deities, our angels, and those who you pray to, that fill your heart with joy. At this time in my life, I'm working very, very much hand in hand with Lord Yeshua. You guys know him, obviously, as Lord Jesus, and Mother Mary and Michael, but that is never taken away from all of the other gods and deities and goddesses and deities that I work with. Because it's not working with them, I find them to be all my friends, and they've all helped me in this path and this journey. So make sure that you do what's very best for you, what's most heartfelt to you. And in the meantime, still spiritual legacy, so that your highest self can continue to connect with your spiritual self. And may you be blessed in all that you do. Thank you so much for listening. And please come again. Happy full moon.